Hi everyone, I'm Laura from Meadowlark Violin, and today I want to teach you how to develop a beautiful, consistent vibrato. Now there's lots of tricks out there to help you develop the vibrato motion, but in my opinion, there's really only one exercise to help you develop a consistent rhythmic vibrato. And people don't always think of rhythm when they think of vibrato, and I think that's where a lot of people's problems lie. Vibrato is not just this expressive, spasmodic motion. It's actually very rhythmic and very controlled. And so if you don't learn vibrato using this exercise I'm going to show you, chances are your vibrato is never really consistent and it's never rhythmic. It's just kind of a spasmodic motion. So I'm going to show you how to overcome that. So first let's talk about the basics of how vibrato works. And just so you know, this is an arm vibrato. I start off teaching arm vibrato, not wrist vibrato. There are two types. I think arm vibrato is a lot easier to be relaxed with. So here's how arm vibrato works. You're going to think of your whole arm as being very relaxed, except for the tip of your finger. And you can imagine there's like a little piece of glue on the tip of your finger, and it glues that finger pad to the fingerboard. Now the momentum of the vibrato is going to start in your arm, kind of around your bicep area. And that momentum is going to push your arm out parallel with the violin fingerboard. It pushes the violin out. This outward motion flattens that knuckle, because remember, your fingertip is glued to the fingerboard. And this flattening of this knuckle is a really important step that a lot of people try to skip. The knuckle has to flatten so that it can return to its original position. There has to be some give so that it can come back. Now, when you do vibrato at a normal tempo, is your knuckle flattening? No, it's not. But you've got to teach it at this very slow tempo to flatten and go back so that at a faster tempo it has that give in it that you're going to need for vibrato. All right, so you want to just start off doing this on every finger, where you just push your arm back, knuckle flattens, and you come back. You can do it every finger, every string. And also as a side note, as I'm showing you these exercises, I'm holding my fingers up like this just so you can really see what's going on with the finger I'm vibrating, but you don't want to do that, all right? Keep all your fingers just gently curved above the fingerboard. All right, now you're ready to do the real vibrato exercise so that you can have a beautiful vibrato. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the metronome at 60, all right? And side note here as well, I'm a big fan of a metronome that you can actually hear. This is a great one that's got a good speaker, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. So we'll start out at 60, and we're going to start moving the vibrato with quarter notes. So, or that's every click at 60. So it's going to start in the original position. The next click, or the next quarter note, it's going to flatten out. And then the next click, it's going to return to the original position. All right, so it's going to look like this. Up, back, up, back. It's going to sound like this. And you can do whatever you want to do with your bow, slur, separate, it doesn't really matter, because your focus is on your left hand. Now I like to start at least with quarter notes. If you want to, you can go even slower and do half notes. So that's an option as well. And I would spend maybe just a week on half notes and quarter notes, getting used to that motion. And then when you're ready, we're going to keep dividing that click. So now we're going to divide that click into eighth notes. All right, so that means that you're going to start in the original position. In between the clicks, you're going to go out and then come back. So sounds like this. you'll do that motion, every finger, every string for maybe a week. Then you'll add triplets, where you're dividing the beat into 3 parts. All right, so I like to just say the rhythm with the metronome. Triplet, 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 triplet. This one's a tricky one because on the first click, your finger's in the original position, triplet, and then the next click, it's in the opposite, it's in the flattened position. So triplet, triplet. Okay, spend another week on that one. Then add 16th notes. We're dividing the beat into 4. All right, so say the rhythm first, 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a. Sounds like this. And you can do that several times. Eventually you might get to where you can't do it for very long, and that's okay. Just do it short little bits. All right, then the next we're going to divide the beat into 6. So think of this as 2 triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Okay. Then we're going to divide the click into 30-second notes, so into 8 different parts. And at this point, you're basically at a vibrato. All right, so 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a. At that part, it's kind of hard to actually even divide it perfectly with the metronome. So you could also slow the metronome down if you want. You don't have to do 60, you can slow it down, and as you get comfortable, you can also speed it up. Now there's some common mistakes with vibrato that I see with a lot of students. And one mistake is that they try to get this motion, but it's not parallel with the fingerboard. They're trying to get that sound doing something like this, maybe making the motion go side to side instead of side to side with the fingerboard. So the motion is always along this axis. Another issue I see is that students, they're just trying to emulate that vibrato sound, and they try to do that by moving the wrist. And this isn't going to get you a good consistent sound. And when you're actually doing the vibrato, the wrist is actually, it's pretty straight, it's just relaxed, but it's not actively doing any motion. And the biggest mistake I see with students learning vibrato is they try to start out learning vibrato with a motion that's just way too quick. Like I said, they're trying to emulate the exact sound of a vibrato. And if you try to go straight to that fast speed that you're used to hearing, you're not going to have that rhythmic, consistent vibrato as if you would get when you started slow and built it up slowly and organically. So like I said, it is really the best way to develop a reliable, beautiful vibrato. And don't try to do this all at once. It may take several months. It may even take a year to develop this motion. It's a very strange motion that you don't have to do so it's all the time. So it's strange to teach your hand how to do it. So don't get frustrated. Don't spend a ton of time every day. Just spend a little bit of time every day practicing it. And if you stick with this practice regimen, I think you'll get a beautiful, consistent, rhythmic vibrato in a short amount of time. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, please like and subscribe. You can also find more great violin resources on my website, meadowlarkviolin.com. Happy practicing!